What is your beef? Why do you have such a problem with me?
Can we get the real Andy? I would prefer the real Andy.
Oh, let's get the real Max. I'll take off my mask when you take off your mask, brother.
Because who's your new favorite YouTuber, Ian, that wanted to be on the show with us?
The Madman. The Madman.
Mad Movie Man.
Let's bring on Max Movies because he scares the living shit out of me. Hold on.
Oh, wow.
Mad Max says, I think you should apologize. Right? I'm sitting here in a goddamn torn down pool house.
I don't even know who you
pool house
are.
is torn apart. Okay, it's torn apart because I'm remodeling on my $70 webcam. Okay, I'm no better than you.
Movie Madness Entertainment. Welcome.
Welcome, viewers. What's this video about? Well, you know how they like to mock professionals in the industry that provide all of our entertainment. Meanwhile, they don't exist without that said entertainment. Should you mock them on their way down? Hell yes, you can, because they harass everyone in the industry. We know what they're doing. They have taken off the face mask. They've revealed how indoctrinated they are with info wars. I am going to stay on that ass on their way down. And just like they do, you know what they do? They dog whistle to their hateful viewers to go and downvote and laugh at like big companies in the industry like Disney or something, their numbers going down. Well, what if Geeks and Gamers is dying? Is their channel dying? Why am I covering this so much? I am taking requests. I am taking requests to tell you the truth about what's happening here and why they needed Alex Jones so bad and what's going on. So we're going to follow them on their way down. On the way for the hate ragers, the shills for the negative, the shills for absolutely hateful people on the internet. And why is there such a big market for assholes? Because people in society, you know, the real normal people, not the ones where they say, oh, we're the normal people and those are the weirdos. No, weirdos are the ones on the internet that constantly want to hate on females and minorities and, you know, disenfranchised people. Those are the weirdos. Those are the ones that can't hold a job or are not, you know, are actual incels. Yes, they are. That's a majority of their audience. There's a big market for incels on the internet. I also was planning on doing a separate topic about why is there so many incels and disgusting people on the internet. There's a big correlation with prawn habits, obsessed with prawn, and then then getting mad when you don't get any, when you only have to watch. You know, talk about being cucked. That's the majority of their fan base, is cucked from real life, not only from women, but being cucked from society. That is why this is the market where that's so large. But even that is cooling down, you know, diminishing returns even for hate. So we're going to cover that. And yes, again, this was a anonymous viewer that wanted me to cover this. So I am going to show you the truth. You know how they like to say facts about box office? Well, I'm giving you facts about Geeks and Gamers numbers and why he's been so busy on D-Day Cobra because that's really what he cares about. He's a political troll. He's not a fan. Let's stop saying fans are angry or fans are upset. No, the political trolls that are more a fan of politics than the actual property. Those are the ones that are obsessed with it. So let's look at his channel on the way down. And then we'll get a little bit of a clip of the gaslighting and damage control they're doing and how much they play it up when we could see the truth here. Here's the truth first. I'll reveal the truth first. This is from playboard.co. It shows the subscriber rank downward trend Average video views, very low. Only 7.3% of subscribers. So my channel is doing really good. I don't have a lot of subscribers, but the percentage of subscribers, well, I'll check on that in a different video. This is about Geeks and Gamers. Downward trend. Average video views, 22,277. For the amount of subscribers, that's very low. That means it's wearing off. People aren't unsubscribing, but they're not engaging because they kind of know exactly what he's going to say. So there you go there. All right, and then let's get to his video. Let's do a slight reaction of this. So what are they saying now? Alex Jones derangement syndrome. They, again, I got to tell you what they're doing. It's gaslighting, pretending like you're crazy to criticize them when we all know the facts. We all know what's going on. This is the audience he caters to. This is the hateful people he wants to buddy up with. And then they laugh it off, act like you're the crazy one. No, fool. You're the one that loves Alex Jones and thinks he's entertainment. If you think that's entertainment, I'm sorry. My opinion is that says a lot about your dumb ass and let you believe in. And guess what? It's 2021. Facts don't care about your feelings. If you listen to Alex Jones, you're a moron. You're a disgusting moron. It's not a joke. You're catering to the worst people online. They can't function outside of the internet. All right. Let's get to this video clip here.
Right. There's one Mexican barber in Minnesota and 100 Somali barbers. So
yeah,
take your pick.
Well, I mean, after he cut my hair, I threw him out of his shop and claimed it as my own. So it was good.
Very good. Very respectable. That's how you become the king grifter. That line, and we're going to talk about your appearance on the Dick Masterson show, but that line where you're like, I'm the king grifter. I won an award for it last year. Like, I love you, Nick.
Well, I do want to point this out that I don't want to send any hate their way. I am criticizing the hell out of them. And now I thought this would be an interesting time to comment on the women of Geeks and Gamers and Nerdrotic and what's going on there. I like Krista Nova. We once talked. I don't think she talks to me. She won't really want to talk to me anymore because I'm very critical of her boss. You have to understand that this is her boss, and she gets something for doing this. Silent producer. This is just like X-Ray Girl. Oh, I get the constant excuses that there are women by these fools. She is a young woman. I'm not saying she's not intelligent, but it's easy to ignore warning signs when she gets a lot of attention by being associated with him, So, I mean, that is a poll. Am I saying she is a show, or she's that she is sacrificing her morals to be with an asshole? No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying listen, young people on the internet getting notoriety is a big pull, and you put your blinders on by default. That's the way the internet works. You ignore things, or you don't want to believe it because of reasons. So I feel bad for her because she's blinded, but we know the truth. Okay, and then here's Nick Rekieta, another, yes, I got nominated as Grifter of the Year. Yes, I'm sorry. Everyone has the right to make money on the internet. I make some money on the internet. But if you're doing it as your main source of income and it says Rekieta Law, I mean, you're completely biased and chilling and a big grifter. That's an award to go for. Okay.
Before we get over to the king grifter himself, say hello to the silent producer, Krista Nova. Hi, Krista.
Hello. I got a new chair. It's white.
Perfect.
See, that is where that because I respect women, I do criticize them. That's where I criticize Krista. Is there's not a lot of substance of anything she says, or if she does a video, it seems very regurgitated. It seems like a copy of Jeremy. Like, it sounds like she listened to Jeremy and she just runs with it. It's not saying that I don't think she could think on her own. It's just saying when you get some of this stuff, you don't. I don't believe she's doing her due diligence to really examine the issue, and it's one-sided, and it's very, very copycat. I think she's a good person, though. I really do, and I wish her the best, and I'll probably never talk to her again. And I, again, do not send any hate, especially towards women on the internet, because that's nothing to be laughed about, being hate thrown their ways, or I need to see the proof or something, which these white dudes will immediately go towards.
It's because like my hair doesn't blend into the chair anymore, so it doesn't look like
the chair will finally be accepted by our audience. Chris.
Yeah. Good. It's good to see that.
Gaslighting, because their audience is mostly white. That's why I mock them, and I will continue to mock them on their way down with their views and their garbage takes. They're shilling. They're shills. It's proven by now.
Producers also white supremacists.
That's right.
See, there they go. That's the virtue signaling. They hate virtue signaling. They love using it. This is as social justice weirdos. They love the virtue signal. You are virtue signaling because you don't even you don't have them in on the conversation much. We don't get much content or a differing opinion, diversity of thought. So yes, even though you say it as sarcastically as a joke, you are still virtue signaling, and there's no substance there. It's just a joke. This is all, they are a joke. That's all they have is their jokes and sarcasm and gaslighting.
And we're going we're just fully, the mask is off.
Yes, exactly. I don't care how you say it, Jeremy. It is off. It is off. Definitely. We know exactly what you did before you had Alex Jones on. Now you're going to try to laugh it off?
It's off.
Like at the Met Gala last night.
My gosh. We will talk about that a little bit later, too. And the king grifter himself, Nick Rekieta. Hi, Nick.
Hey, buddy. Thanks for having me on tonight.
Absolutely. After that legendary appearance on the Dick Masterson show, because I listened to that, because Mark the Cyborg's a big fan of Dick Masterson show, and we were talking, and he said, "Did you hear Rekieta on there?" I'm like, "No." I said, "Send me a link when it's up," and he sent me, Dick's link today, and I'm like, "Holy crap!" I was like, I loved every second of it. I was like, "Man," and we were going live. I told Ryan, I said, "Hit up Nick and see." So, let's just jump right into that. The Vito situation.
Okay,
trying
cool.
to flag down the Friday Night Tights stream with Alex Jones. Vito is a fucking idiot. I'm not even going to mince any words about it. He's a fucking idiot.
No, well, here's the thing. This is also not to bring up Matt Jarbo's situation. But if you believe, and I don't like flagging channels either. I've never flagged a channel on YouTube. Ever. Never. But if you believe it's against terms of service, which YouTube and Twitter and Facebook have said that they do not want lies and misinformation being spread about certain topics. That's their platform. Again, freedom of speech protects you from the government and your speech there from prosecution. It doesn't mean that you could break TOS on private businesses' platforms and use a vague opinions, pivot to actually just lie directly to your audience to grift on them. There's a lot of scams on the internet. I believe this is you know what? I'm making a prediction now. Remember when the FCC cracked down on YouTubers not revealing that they were sent a product when they put it as review, and you have to disclaim that? I feel that there's going to be something coming in the near future about. I hope there's something that they work on for continually lying to your audience intentionally and using bad info to profit for funds. And this is what they've been proven to do. Their channels were dying before that with views. Based on the sub count to view count, it was horrendous. Hopefully I will do better. You know what? I'll reveal it on a live stream if I'm doing better. If I'll admit I wasn't doing good too, I'll admit it. I don't know yet, and I don't want to have it in this video for obvious reasons. I'll admit that too, and because I was covering them. But I will reveal it later on a live stream about how my channel is doing there too. I didn't think to look up my channel because it's covering them. But to be fair, I'll do my channel later. Let's see what he has to say here about Vito. And so that's what I meant, though. It wasn't exactly a false flag. It was just flagging. Listen, if Alex Jones is saying, let's, to our political opponents, inciting hateful people and saying when they lose, we should string them up. That's against terms of service and should not be done on social platforms. And, this is another discussion too, freedom of speech. This is another question I will cover in a separate video. Okay. I want to have this really hard discussion about freedom of speech versus intentionally lying and inciting. Where does that fall within freedom of speech and terms of service on social media platforms is another discussion I want to have, because freedom of speech, those laws were made there so you have a right to say things. But if you're, I think there is a discussion to be had about where each commentary and thing happens. Is it just for that person's speech and their rights, or is it more towards the angle of lying and grifting or inciting? So that is a great conversation that I want to do more research on and have later in the day. Not later in the day, later. I want to do that. Definitely. All right, so let's get back to this Vito situation. So Vito is an asshole, but I don't, people that teamed, added Team YouTube. Listen, Fandom Menace people added my videos because I was criticizing them. And it wasn't anything to break terms of service. So if you feel it's breaking terms of service, YouTube says to notify them and they will review it. So it's not like it's a false flag. That's a false equivalency. It's not a false flag. It's a correct flag, but it's really like bullying mentality. And you told, snitches, what they say about snitches? It's sort of like that situation.
Yet I've had interactions with
snitches
him in the
get
past,
stitches. Sorry,
he just shows what a fucking idiot he is. You pretty much smacked him around on that show. So what are your overall?
Oh, I didn't see that.
And even since then, you went back and got context as to what Alex actually said and how Vito manipulated it to spin it to his narrative. So,
oh wow!
Give us
Look
a
who's
little
talking.
bit of context to all.
Look who's talking. Now this is interesting. I didn't watch ahead, so I didn't know this would be covered.
Yeah, well, I mean, the first thing, Vito flagging is nothing new, right? He spends most of his time flagging down food trucks, so switching to YouTube videos didn't take too much effort.
Oh.
But that being said, I didn't get a chance to actually watch the Alex Jones show. Fridays are really busy for me, and this past week was extremely busy because it's the start of school, and we homeschool our kids.
I wonder, here we go to the schooling because of the CRT, right? Yeah. Virtue signaling there. That's a right-wing virtue signaling. I pulled my kids from school. We homeschool because the teachers are so, show us. I do, if people are influencing your children at school, I think you have a right to call it out. But I also think it's being really done for hyperbolic reasons and not actual facts. They just do it to virtue signal about how how pure they are in the right-wing circle. It's constantly done to say, yeah, I homeschool. You want to send me a super chat or Patreon? Hey, Alex, I pulled my kids from school because of that CRT nonsense. When in actuality, did it happen? I don't, I don't put it past them to make shit up constantly to virtue signal, just like they did with Krista. And Krista's just sitting there, They love to get a woman to produce their show. It was very interesting to point, but there's no on-screen talent in the commentary on any of their channels. They might have another right-wing guest, another right-wing YouTuber, as a guest, but not a regular. That's why I say mostly white, Friday Night Whites.
Kids, but all of their activities, is when you homeschool, you got to sign your kids up for like 12 million activities that they would waste their day at school doing. And so those all started up, and the first week the parents have to go to all the orientations. So like I was swamped, didn't watch the show, but I'm like, oh my God, they got Alex Jones. That's freaking great.
Why is that great?
That's phenomenal, because ever since he's been deplatformed, the funny thing is I never really listened to him before he was deplatformed. But once damn, we're moving.
There we're moving.
Once he was deplatformed, I'm like, okay, now he just became infinitely more important than he was.
Mm-hmm.
And whatever you think about him, I don't care if people like or dislike Alex Jones. I don't care if they believe or disbelieve Alex Jones. Hell, I don't believe half the stuff he says. That doesn't matter. Speech matters. Protecting speech matters. So as a principle, we need to guard that well beyond what the First Amendment does, because the First Amendment can only bind governments. It's our job.
Here's the other part of the argument. This is actually an interesting conversation. I don't personally like Rekieta Law. I don't like that he grifts so hard on the internet. I think there's some conflicts of interest there that he will, he'll say things. I think he sometimes can say things to grift. But that's another part of the conversation. Your freedom of speech, but should you get freedom to get paid for your speech, and how that corrupts speech. Funds absolutely corrupt speech where it's not organic, and that is the other part of the conversation I want to have. Should you get freedom to lie? Okay, one of my viewers said, yeah, freedom to lie too. But on social media platforms where funds and ad dollars corrupt your speech and it's not organic, that's a different situation. And I think that is something to look into in the future, which we might go down. Listen, the other straw man is that if you think someone's breaking terms of service and they get removed from the platform, you may say, like, okay, I think that was warranted. Does that mean you're pro-censorship? No, pro-censorship is another straw man that these lunatics that lie consistently do, because you're not pro. You're like, I understand. No one's like going and wanting everyone being removed from YouTube. But the extreme, which InfoWars is the extreme, that consistently lie to their audience for funds and manipulate people to grift, when money is involved, what does that do to freedom of speech? It corrupts it. It's not organic. And I think that could be an angle in the future, which maybe might come down to some potential lawsuits or inquiries, is to freedom of speech with funds, because it's not organic, and that becomes there's laws about where people manipulate people in businesses and lie, and con artists. So when it's comes down to being financially benefited from your lies, and you label it as free speech when you're actually intentionally lying, there's a conversation there. I don't have all the answers. I just want to revisit this in the future, and I would love to read your comments in the comments section. What do you think? Freedom of speech is an absolute, or do you think there's an argument to be had there when funds corrupt your speech and it becomes more of a snake oil salesman type situation, where you manipulate audience and take advantage of them? Because if you remove the funds from freedom of speech, it's going to be more organic. That's all I'm saying,
to the streets, if you will, and protect people's right to speak. So I wanted to lay that as just
being
the foundation,
removed,
but
what
happens,
being deplatformed from a social media platform does not take away your speech. It doesn't. It just there's certain things that are inappropriate in the business place and are inappropriate for advertisers, or inappropriate for the general public. Look, no one's complaining that the stuff that looks 8chan. That's freedom of speech, but the stuff on there is horrendous. But everyone's okay with that being removed. It's just that they're going to use the goalpost argument. Where do you stop? Where do you keep moving the goalpost? I understand that, but no one's complaining about the garbage that's on 8chan is removed from the internet. No one, not even these fools. They're not going to say that. And they have their freedom of speech there. And that's where Alex Jones on the stream said, very fine people. But of course, the damage control and gaslighting and Cope is over the top here, not admitting what's really happening to his own channel and not admitting what he's actually doing is just, again, I don't want to send anything negative towards Krista or the ladies associated with that, but that's my take and my opinion. You know how they say my opinion is that she is conflicted and has her blinders on because of what she gains by being associated with Jeremy, and I don't think she looks into it much or necessarily cares. And he might be fun to be around, and she benefits a lot from it. I'm not saying she's a sellout either, but I mean, it's easy to put blinders on when you benefit a lot from it.
In there, Vito, goes out and he tags Daddy YouTube. Dad, these people are
see, Dad. Now he's if Vito thought it was breaking terms of service, which he said in the tweet. Now I'm not falling for the straw man. I'm not pro censorship. I didn't tag anyone. I personally thought that a lot of the stuff happening on there was breaking terms of service. I don't have derangement syndrome like they are implying in this video. I don't. That's gaslighting and straw manning. I don't, gaslighting. Sorry, it's gaslighting. I don't have Alex Jones derangement syndrome. I just am disgusted by what they're doing, and again, gaslighting the audience, acting like everything's a joke and he's entertaining when he has his bullshit. Again, everyone says he's entertaining, but they believe it 10 minutes later. They nod in agreement, and then they're like, I'm not going to overuse the word I've been saying consistently here, but then they trick the audience and act like, I don't agree with everything he says, but how many times did they nod every single thing? That's the context and the truth and the facts is when you watched it, there's a video out there that I saw where they nodded everything. So I think he's entertaining and I don't agree with everything, but you saw what they did. You saw what they did. All right. I'm not going to watch much more of this. You can check out the live stream.
Saying things that I don't like, please get rid of them. Get rid of them. And they tag.
No, it's not just opinions and things that I don't like. It's inciting. It is dangerous because that is the real issue with Alex Jones is what people do. He does intentionally lie. He doesn't believe everything he says. He is warping freedom of speech. Again, I go back to freedom, rights, and freedom of speech with great power are great. And with great power comes great responsibility. And those grifters that always like to hide and use it as a shield don't respect it. They abuse it. They abuse it. I think there should be some respect for these rights, but these people just want to use it to con the audience and con people out of their money. So what is the answer to that? I don't know the answer. I know the problems. I don't know the answer.
He tagged Team YouTube on Twitter, and Team YouTube actually responds to the tweet.
Okay.
And if
I didn't know
people
this.
don't realize, like, I don't know how many thousands of people they have running the Team YouTube Twitter account. I know they've got a bot that gives you canned responses, but when they actually interact with the creator,
I'll stop
beyond the bot response.
I'll stop it after we find this, because I didn't know they responded. I'll be interested to hear the response. If they say it's terms of service, I guess I'll have to accept that. But that's shocking. If they say this of what he was saying was within terms of service, that's shocking. But let's hear what you have to say.
They will actually interact with you, and then they follow YouTube creators and they listen to what they say, which is a little horrifying. But like, Team YouTube follows me on Twitter. I'm sure it follows you guys too, especially if you've ever reached out to them to say, hey, this is fucked up that you canceled somebody or whatever. So for him to do that, knowing that they're probably also following him, will see the tweet and will interact, was pretty damn disingenuous of him, and just a shit thing to do.
No,
so then,
not if he was a pit. No, if he honestly thought. Now, if he was doing it to troll, I disavow that. But if he honestly thought that it was breaking terms of service and it was something that was dangerous, he has every right to do that. If he follows the guidelines, that's where you're not going to hear they're going to say false, but it wasn't exactly a false flag. If he was wrong, if he tagged them and he was wrong, then YouTube will, if YouTube responded that this is in terms of service, I guess I'll have to accept that. But that's shocking to me, at least. I mean, let me know in the comment section if you think that's shocking.
I call it out. I don't even care what Alex said. I had no idea other than, Vito, his bitchy tweet. I didn't watch the clip or anything, and he deleted it before I actually could click on the thing. So I didn't watch it. I didn't know what he said. All I know is I'm completely opposed to deplatforming. YouTube, let's not mince words here. YouTube exists to serve ads to the viewers.
Yeah.
Like this whole virtue signal and moralizing that they do is this weird conflict between the mission of the platform, which is serve ads to people.
It's not a virtue signal to want to keep your platform as clean as possible for your advertisers. It's good for business. That's bullshit. No. I agree. I disagree with Rakeda there. It's not a virtue signal. You do what's good for your business. These people lie for their business. So,
And so for them to say less speech is better in any context is counter to their original business.
Okay, now Rakeda is doing a straw man. Here's him caught in a straw man. No one said less speech. Team YouTube does want to look at anything potentially hateful, inflammatory, dangerous, and insightful. So that is a straw man. Again, we're not pro censorship. No one said we want less speech. That's a lie. That's a straw man argument. This is what they always go to because they're political trolls. I think I'm going to end it soon. I don't want to do the whole reaction here.
Model, their ongoing business model, but it conflicts with like this moral hazard that some I don't know, hand twisters have over at YouTube.
Yeah.
But that being said, so I defend it right away. I'm like, hey, you're a piece of shit for doing this. It's garbage. I was already going to call into the Dick show this weekend. That's the people may not know that. I talked to Dick a couple weeks ago about calling in, saying, hey, I need to, I wanted to call in, but I'm busy on this the next couple recordings because I had like a trip to Seattle.
I'm actually going to research
this
the
is the
Vito
first weekend I was
situation.
actually able to do it, and then this just happened to happen right before it. So now I'm like, I'm definitely calling in, motherfucker. So I go on there, and Vito's entire point is that Alex Jones was quote unquote telling people that the vaccine liquefied your internal organs. And he said that's misinformation and disinformation.
That's true.
And
yes.
because he said that, someone is apparently going to 1, watch Friday Night Tights. 2, hear Alex Jones say one sentence out
Gaslighting.
of a 4-hour broadcast. And then 3, make their entire vaccine decision.
Now they're making it seem like the audience isn't stupid. They are stupid. They watch your show. That's all I got for this video. Yes, I have to. I know it can get annoying, but I have to reveal each tactic consistently of what they're doing. They're acting like it's impossible and it's crazy. Well, you know what? They have a lot of viewers watching them. Their numbers are on decline. That's facts. But people believe their shit and they pay them. So Nick doing this now is gaslighting the audience and acting like that's impossible when we all know the truth. You know, again, I'm not getting into politics, but people tried some of that Trump stuff that he was saying might cure it. So but he is doing the lawyer thing here and trying to defend, people here with this argument, but it's also making gaslighting and acting like it's impossible, crazy, when we know what's possible. We know people, unfortunately, are under the influence. I'll see you later.